everyone, welcome to the channel Programming Geeks. I am Ashish Dhamne and today we are going to learn data types in JavaScript. So as we know, data types are majorly categorized into two categories. One is primitive data types and other one is non-primitive data types. As we know, JavaScript is a dynamically typed language, so we don't need to actually write the data type in the code. It itself identifies the type of data. Right. So here is here are the type data types which are broadly distributed in two major parts. One is primitive and there is non-primitive. In primitive data types, we have number, string, boolean, uh, symbol, null, begin and undefined. Whereas in non-primitive data types, we have objects, arrays, and functions. Here, uh, actually, we don't use symbol as much uh, at the in the starting in the beginning. But let me just give a brief. Symbol here is utilized for giving a special preference to some kind of code, right? That we'll use in majorly in React, right? So now it's actually not required, and even begin is not required now because we don't use that peak values. Begin is used for managing very peak values, like in some 10 digits and all. So actually we will don't use that big values now. So we can uh, remove it. And these are the five basic which we need to learn. That two will be learn we can learn further. So here number is a kind of data type which stores or which deals with numbers and numerical values. The second is string. Here it deals with the text and all, where where the text is present between the double inverted commas or single inverted comma, right? But try to keep it inside the double inverted commas because it seems to be a good practice of, right? Next is a boolean. Boolean stores only two values, that is either true or false, whether the condition is true or false. Like if we want to check whether the person has logged in or not. So we can give a out. We can tell it by boolean by using true or false, right? Or false. Next one is null. Here it is an quite interesting data type because null is a kind of data type which we where we keep a variable intentionally empty, right? Or simply will just declare the null value there, right? So it is an intentionally empty file. Right. Next is undefined. Undefined here signifies that we have declared a variable but didn't assign the value to it. Value is not assigned. Right. So let's discuss the code about this and let's check their data types. What are the data types they show? Let's check for the number first. Right. Let let num is equal to some 5 and let us check its data type. Console.log. For checking the data type, we have a special kind of keyword that is type of then the variable name num. So let's check what kind of data type it is. So it's showing number. So whatever the data type of phi is number here. Now let's check for another one, like let let str is equal to Ashish and str. Here we can find that the data type is showing as string because it is present in between double inverted commas. Next we can check for boolean, right? Let bool is equal to true. Let's check what is the data type of for true, right? When you check the data type for bool is boolean, that means the value present in the data is boolean type of data, right? Next we can go for undefined. So undefined, as I told you, we declare a variable here, but do not assign any value to it. So let's check what does it show now when we does not assign a value to a variable. Hmm, So here it come a. See, now it shows undefined. That means we have not defined any value for a. Next we check for null. So let's declare the variable, some variable x, where we'll provide the value null. Now if you check the data type of null, it will show some different thing, right? Its data type will be different. If we go for the data type of null, it shows object. Now, the reason behind this is not actually discovered, means nobody has found the reason. It is called a bug in JavaScript as well because it does not have any meaning why it is getting an object. So it is as it is. We have to use that. So and this is the majorly asked question in the interviews as well. That what is the data type of uh, null? So in that case, we just remember that the data type of null is an object and data type of undefined is undefined. Right. These two are the questions which has a high chance in the interviews. Right. Now let's go for the non-primitive data types. The first one is objects. Right. Here, the name itself signifies that object has the data type of object. Maximum non-primitive data types have all the non-primitive data types have the data type of object, right? Except function, the function has the data type of function object, right? So let's go for a little bit of code. Let's create an object first. Let my object, let my object is equal to name, and let's go for the age. Age is 12, which is not mine, right? Now we'll check the data type for object. Sol.log type of my object, right? So it will show as object. So for data type for object is object, right? Then let's check for array as well. What does the data type of array shows here? Mm, Let arr is equal to comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, console. Let's console it. Type of. So let's check. So here it's showing as object, right? So data type of object is object. Data type of array is also an object. And let's check for the function. So we can go as let my function, right? Is equal to function. Let my function. Here we'll print hello world. Dot log. Hello world. Now let's check the data type for function. So dot log type of my function. Let's paste. So yeah, it is showing as function, which is generally called as function object, right? So we have seen the data types today. Uh, the main classification is in two categories. One is primitive, other is non-primitive. In primitive, we have basic five data types. That is number, string, boolean, null, undefined. Right. These five might be enough uh, at this level. The remaining two, which is big int and symbol, will be thought for further according to the time. Right. And we have written the code and checked as well. Right. The next is non-primitive one. In non-primitive, we have object, arrays, and function. For object and arrays, both we have data types as object, and for function, it is function, but generally we call as function object. Right. So this was it for today's class. Let's catch up in next class with a new topic of operators. Right. So let's meet soon, guys. Thank you.